I'm the Geeky Dad, and I'm here with my X-Men. Well, not
X-Kids.
the X-Kids. Again, this is X-Men month, and we're going to be talking about X-Men, the First Class.
Yes, the actual first class.
Now, these are my co-hosts.
Ariana.
And Ryan.
And we're the Multiverse Kids.
Yeah. For people who have not listened to the show before, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Ariana? What do you like?
How
old are you?
I'm 12.
Yeah. What do you like?
I like toys and video games and Wonder Woman and Miss Marvel.
That's it?
And Link.
You don't like Star Wars?
And Okay, fine. I like everything.
You like X-Men?
I said I like everything.
Okay. What about you?
Like strangers?
Okay.
Oh my God.
What about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm 9, and I'm better than everyone else here.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
I am the Geeky Dad, and I usually have my kids watch something geeky, and then we talk about it. Okay. And like I said, this is X-Men month because everything is all Wolverine and Deadpool and stuff like that. So
Everybody likes Wolverine and Deadpool.
yes. And last week we talked about X-Men Origins Wolverine, one of the worst X-Men movies, I would say.
The worst.
I don't know. There's gonna be worse. We're gonna be watching worse. Yes. I would say New Mutants is pretty bad. X3 is pretty bad.
I want to watch New
Yeah. Dark Phoenix is pretty bad.
I saw that.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But yeah. First Class. What did you guys think of First Class?
I mean, probably one of the better movies that we saw.
Yes.
I was confused.
What were you confused about?
Yeah, it was confusing because
Why
why did he look old in X-Men Origins and he was walking, but like he was young when he wasn't able to walk.
Okay, forget about X-Men Origins. That movie got erased. Okay?
Wait, so we got a different origin story now?
Yes. We'll find that out in Days of Future Past. That's basically going to erase everything.
Shouldn't Wolverine have that adamantium claws at that time when Magneto and
No, he didn't join Weapon X in the movie verse until the 70s, I think.
Yeah.
Another thing is, why did they have Cyclops' brother but not Cyclops?
Yeah, that was the thing that I really hated
Cyclops
in
was
this
supposed-
movie.
Yeah, Cyclops is supposed to be the older brother in the Summers family, right?
That was dumb. There was a lot of stupid things that they did that they didn't need to do that. Okay, but of course they always have to do something stupid with these movies. Cause the First Class is basically in the comic books, Jean,
Scott,
Yeah.
Beast,
right?
Iceman, Angel.
and Angel. Yeah.
Yes.
have a Wolverine.
No, not Wolverine. Not
And
Wolverine.
in the comics, don't they make their own team?
Yes, and the actual Second Class, was Vulcan. Okay.
Are you sure it wasn't Havoc?
No. Havoc kind of joined the First Class as like during the first couple of years, but
No one cares about Vulcan. He's not known.
what was it? Darwin was part of it, and
Oh, another mistake.
yeah,
How did Darwin die?
Darwin's not supposed
He's
to die.
supposed to adapt to anything.
That's yeah. That made no sense. But in terms of action, and in terms of storyline, I think
This is the best one.
this is better than a lot of the other ones.
Even Deadpool?
I would say it's a little bit better than Deadpool because Deadpool's a little bit too.
Deadpool felt too short.
Yeah, and it's a little too comical.
Too.
Yeah.
Deadpool Wolverine.
And we did not see those movies.
Wolverine and Deadpool fight.
And so in this movie, we see Magneto and Professor X as friends, right? And they at first, they
But
were
that's a mistake.
what? What? What?
Why?
isn't Magneto dead yet?
Well, they in the comics they explain that he uses science to keep himself young.
They didn't explain it in this.
The whole age thing with the X-Men doesn't make sense because if you see the next couple of movies in this series, you'll see that Havoc joined the team in the 60s, right?
Yes.
He's going to be in the 80s and he still looks the same age.
But wasn't he?
What the heck?
Okay?
But
No, they have
Every-
de-aging serums.
Every movie they jump a couple of years and it's always like they don't look different at all, Look at Professor X. He didn't age at all.
He doesn't age.
He doesn't age.
Because he uses...
You're going to see in these next 3 movies, James McAvoy, who plays Professor X, doesn't age at all. Magneto doesn't age at all. In the 80s, which is X-Men Apocalypse, right?
Mhm.
Magneto still looks the same as when he did in the 60s. And then the movie Dark Phoenix, which is set in like the 90s, they still look the same.
X-Men 97.
Right.
I just think.
But then, the next movie we saw on our list was the original X-Men, which I call X-Men Second Class,
Yes.
Right?
It is.
which is supposed to be set a little bit in the future, like in the year 2000 or something. So how did Professor X and Magneto age 50 years old, look-wise, from the 90s to the 2000s? Huh?
Nothing makes sense.
Exactly. And this is why they need to reboot everything and start over once again. Because everything's all messed up.
Yeah.
Right.
But keep Deadpool as like a legend.
Well, Deadpool, he can go in between different dimensions. So,
Yeah. Because
You
in
know.
his dimension, there's only 2 X-Men at this point. Like,
no, there's 2. If you
three,
watch in Deadpool 2, you actually see the X-Men from First Class in it.
Also in
Yeah.
Deadpool Wolverine, you see Wolverine was alive at that time.
Right.
I think Wolverine could be the X-Men, then would
So, what happens in this movie X1? I mean, X-Men First Class. What happens in this movie?
so you find out the origins
Right.
of
Which is a little bit different from the comic book, but
yeah. You find out.
Moira did not work for the FBI.
No, she didn't.
She was a scientist. That's another thing that's wrong. The bad guy, he did start the Hellfire Club, but they basically took Mr. Sinister's origin and mixed it with this guy.
Wow, that's just crazy.
It would have been better if it was Mr. Sinister, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would have been better.
Yeah, because then he'd have more hatred for like the X-Men, and then more into like Scott and Jean, right?
Right, and also you can't really kill Sinister. Only Cyclops can do that.
Yeah.
But
How about Wolverine?
no. Wolverine was in this movie, First Class.
Yeah.
And then he just like says,
Says the F word and just leaves, and then
Bob?
yes, he says bub. Yes, he says bub.
yes.
And what else? What else was a good scene? Oh yes, Banshee. Banshee's in this movie. I would say
Oh my god.
I would say the reason they put why did they put Banshee
Wait,
and not Angel?
the funny
They
thing.
should have put Angel, because Banshee is supposed to be with Moira in the future.
But Banshee's cooler than Angel because Banshee has Sonic Scream. Angel doesn't do anything.
Angel Dust is there, and then after he turns into Archangel, he goes mentally.
When he's
crazy.
Archangel, that's when he's cool. But
Yeah, but then he goes mentally crazy and tries to
Right.
kill
To
everybody.
me, the best thing about Banshee is whenever Wolverine has to go on. One time I read this comic, and Wolverine and Banshee had to go on a mission together.
Mm-hmm.
So Banshee was screaming to fly, and he was screaming inside Wolverine's ears.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing about Banshee, because he has to scream just to
the wor-
fly.
he's
He has
the-
to scream to do anything.
He's the worst
He's pretty annoying.
for stealth.
Why does
No.
he need to scream to fly?
That's how he uses his power, by screaming.
I want
Yeah.
Wolverine to cut his wings.
No, he wants Wolverine to cut Angel's wings.
Yeah. This movie also has the origin of basically Beast, right?
Yes.
Which is kind of
And
good.
Beast
It's
was-
very close to the comic. That's how it is. He
And
did
Beast
not
was
like. Yeah, he did
in
not like
love
how he looked.
With
Well, that's another thing I hated about this
Mystique.
movie. Mystique and Beast. Did they just put them together because they happen to be blue?
Both
Yes.
of them are
Huh?
blue.
yes.
Also, he used her DNA to create the serum. Is that why he turned blue?
Yes.
Wow, that's a lame reason. They really messed that up.
Yeah.
He's supposed to
Okay, another thing I hated. Why was Mystique a little girl in Professor X's house?
To blend in.
She's older than Professor X.
Yeah, I know. She to blend in.
Why was she a
made
little
it-
girl?
She made it act. She made her look like that so that he'd take her in.
Why?
I don't know, cause
She
was
doesn't
in
need
love
to
with
do
him.
it. She could be anybody.
Cause she was in love with him.
That was weird. That should have never even been in the movie.
It really should.
Okay? What it should have been, okay, was Mystique was just some girl he met.
Yeah.
Not some weird homeless girl who was naked.
Yes.
She was naked in that room when they
Yes.
met. That was
Yes.
weird.
Yes.
That was very weird. Okay?
She should put some clothes
Yes.
on.
And where was Juggernaut? Juggernaut is his brother. He
Yes.
should have been in that mansion, and he should have been the main villain, I think.
Why
Yes.
did he turn evil?
Or at least part of the villain team.
Daddy,
Exactly.
Why did he
And-
turn evil?
Who?
Juggernaut.
Because his father only liked Professor X and not him. Kind of like how, we like you over Rayon.
jealous much.
Jealous much? Okay.
Okay. And then it was also weird that Emma Frost was.
Well, she's part of the Hellfire Club, but
Yeah, I know, but
she does not get her diamond powers yet.
she's
That's
supposed to get it after.
Genosha blows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I know it's not connected, but why is there a ripoff Emma Frost in X-Men Origins? I still don't get it.
That, again, all the X-Men movies are just messed up. Okay?
Exactly.
All
of
messed up.
them?
Yes. But what would you grade X-Men First Class?
3.
3 out of 4? How about you?
3 and a half.
Oh,
3
wow.
and a half.
I would give you that. I would give you the same thing.
3.5.
3.5. Yeah. So now we're going to talk about X-Men the Second Class, which is basically what it is.
X-Men.
If you watch that movie and then you watch that movie, it basically feels like the next
Here's
movie.
what I'll tell you what it's about.
it-
Wolverine goes, meets Rogue, meets the X-Men.
Yeah,
They
Rogue
work-
is the kitty / Jubilee in this.
They
Right.
work together. They defeat Magneto.
Sabretooth is there, but he doesn't look like Sabretooth. But
They
you know.
save the world. The end.
Technically, this movie is
And
the
they
first.
see Deadpool.
No, Deadpool's not in it. Technically, the first X-Men movie is X-Men, but First Class is like the prequel.
Yeah, it's like the prequels in Star
And
Wars, but
that's
like the originals are the first movies, but
Right.
the prequels is like the
Right. So X-Men, which came out in like the 2000s, you could see that they didn't have a big budget, right?
Yeah.
They used the lame leather outfits. right?
Yes.
Why do they have black leather?
It's
Because-
supposed to be yellow and blue.
Because back then, okay, comic book movies were not,
Good, nice, dark.
well, yes, but they also weren't very popular,
They were mostly
That's crazy.
okay? The only successful comic book movies were Superman and Batman, and that's it,
duh. They're the
That's
best.
These are both the best.
okay?
But Superman's better than
And,
Batman.
The first Marvel movie was Howard the Duck, and that failed miserably.
Absolutely horrible.
So-
we shall not talk about
So
it.
they didn't try for many years after that. And when they did try, the first Marvel movie that was a success was actually Blade,
Blade.
which was a movie that had all black leather.
Ah.
Huh?
Doesn't
Ah.
Blade appear in Deadpool Wolverine?
Yes. And so when they did do the X-Men, they were kind of embarrassed to be a superhero movie. So they tried to be like, okay, we're going to be cool, because the cool thing was wearing leather back then.
White,
you know.
black.
And black. And even in the comics, that's when the X-Men started to wear leather too.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And apparently, the next season of X-Men 97
No.
will reflect
No.
that.
No.
Yes.
When Gambit died.
Yes. So,
they already stated something like that, right?
right. Now, because the X-Men are gone in that show, remember?
Yes.
And that's when
And I hear the new X-Men team is going to be Havoc, Polaris, and some other people.
This leader.
I don't know. Probably Forge. Now, this movie, the X-Men,
Is Madeline gonna come back alive?
who knows? What did you think of the story? What's the story on that?
I mean,
It's a lot more fateful in a lot of terms.
yeah. The thing that I don't understand, how come Sabretooth looks different, but Wolverine kind of doesn't?
Oh, another thing.
Sabretooth actually looks more faithful in this movie than in X-Men Origins.
Yeah,
Sabretooth was just a guy with very long nails.
Yeah, like, oh, look at my
Yeah,
super
He's
long
basically,
nails.
that's what he is.
Exactly.
He looks like the Sabretooth from X-Men Evolution.
Yes.
Oh god.
Yeah, he does. And Wolverine is not as, muscular in this movie as he is in,
And
the,
they met-
in the other movies.
And
That's
they,
crazy.
Right?
Yes.
and they met Cyclops.
Right. And Cyclops is basically a non-entity in these movies.
Exactly.
Okay? He does nothing.
He did nothing actually.
All he does is like, oh, I don't like you, Wolverine. Stay away from Jean.
Yeah, that's all. That's
Yeah,
his
all
only
he
character.
All he cares about is
They really messed up Cyclops in these movies.
he really did
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
They even messed him up in X-Men Origins. He takes off his glasses. He has to yell. Why
Yeah.
do you need to yell?
And by the way, this movie was so cheap they couldn't afford to use Beast, so they needed a doctor character in the movie. So they just made Jean Grey a doctor.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm sorry, but the woman that played Jean,
She looked like Black Widow. Wait, no, that was in the second movie.
she would have been a good Black Widow because she always plays a Russian evil person, and yeah, she did not look like Jean
No.
at all.
No.
No,
No,
no.
definitely not.
And Halle Berry as Storm really was not a good Storm.
I
No.
mean, maybe if she said like, "I am Storm," and she like states everything,
Right.
then
Right.
you know.
Right. And throughout the whole entire movie, all right, Wolverine gets beat up
Yeah,
every
by-
single time.
by
It should just be
Sabretooth.
called the movie where Wolverine gets beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As soon as we meet him in the bar, he gets beat up.
Yeah,
soon as
by
we meet him
Sabretooth.
in-
The truck.
In the truck, he gets beat up. Then,
Sabretooth.
He kills Rogue.
he meets Magneto again, he gets beat up. Then he meets Sabretooth, gets beat up. He meets Mystique, he gets beat up. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, so every time he gets beat up. What
Yeah.
kind of hero is this?
And what kind of hero? And what kind of hero kills a little girl?
Yeah. So if you count X-Men Origins in this movie, all he does is just fail miserably over and
Cyclops
over.
does nothing.
How did he become so popular?
Nobody knows.
No,
Nobody
knows. Anyhow, regardless, how would you grade X-Men,
X-Men? What?
the second class?
Oh, second class? 3.5 thumbs up.
3.5.
3,
Okay.
I guess, again.
I'll give it 3.
I give it 2.
You give it 2?
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the 2 movies. I guess next time we'll be talking about
And they're both X-Men.
yeah, some of the other ones that came out after that. You know.
And they're both about Wolverine.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And what do we say at the end of every episode?
Please hit the bell, subscribe, and like.
Bye.
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 To me, my multiverse kids.
X-Men.
No, not X-Men.